And it says we are live. It is Thursday night. Let's see if I can adjust this a little bit. I don't know if it's going to make... It's pretty sunny here. So if I seem real bright, I apologize. It's sunny. What do you want? That might change as we go through. It is, of course, Thursday night. I'm here. You're beautiful. That must mean it's time for GotBot Goes live. As always, I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe, and while you're at it, loud of my baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, and it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Now, while I get things kind of salted away and set up here so that we can have a good, a good night, we're going to actually take a moment of silence for the events this past week in Texas as well. I found out just before going on the air that apparently earlier today or overnight, actor Ray Liotta passed away at the age of 67. Certainly too young. He was on the set of a movie and apparently passed in his sleep. So we're going to take a moment of silence while I get things set up here, out of respect for all of those people. All right, so we will get going. I hope that you guys are having a great weekend. I hope things are going well for you. To our friends in the United States, this weekend should be, if I'm not mistaken, Memorial Day weekend, I think, for you guys. So happy Memorial Day weekend. I hope that your kickoff to the summer is a positive one. I really, really do. Last week for us was a long weekend, so that was actually really nice. Something that I'm going to be part of coming up this weekend as well, I'll talk about a little bit later. We're going to talk about a bunch of news out of Legacy. We're going to talk about some stuff from Fans Toys. We're going to talk, Fans Hobby. We're going to talk about an ambitious project that I have full faith in from Iron Factory and how it relates to something I'm doing. And we're going to do this week's unboxing, which is a little bit unexpected, a little bit wild as well. So let's just see kind of who's in here already as I get going. Hey, Slow DK. Man, you're here early today. Nice. Hey, Big M, Brian, Maximal 10. Hey, Marcus. And of course, I'm on a couple of minutes earlier than usual. I know. I always say like 6 Eastern-ish. And a lot of times I'm a little bit... I do love Iron Factory. I have like Turt's Manacle are... they won't be replaced by 6-Gun and... Slammer, even though I love 6-Gun and Slammer, but Turt's Manacle are still so good that I just leave them with Metroplex anyway, as an example of something from Iron Factory that's good. Oh, most of what they do is good. So we have an ambitious project there to talk about. We'll touch on something from 3.0 as well. We're going to do this week's trivia. We will do this week's unboxing, which has quite a mix to it again. Some old, some new, and from a number of eras. Again, we are still working through that box from Maximal 10, if you can believe that. I think next week we may finish that box from Maximal 10. Maybe. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Before I go on, I just wanted to point out that this guy, Hammerbite, was talked about when we talked about the yellowing. My Hammerbite is yellowing. You can see the difference in the blue up here and down on his legs. So, yeah, it's happening not just to... I guess offerings in the War for Cybertron line or the Netflix Soundwave or whatever. It's not even just happening to blue and gray plastic. It's happening to a lot. That's unfortunate, man. Real unfortunate. But I mean, it is what it is. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do, right? No Thursday sandwich. I heard my Iron Factory... I can never say his name, but I know what you're talking about. was selling for a pretty penny in the aftermarket. Yeah, I think so too, actually. It's what I've heard. I mean, fooling their money soon parted, I get. Hey, Sean, I guess. Hey, Shansi. It's what? Real-time battle damage? Yeah, I guess. If you want to put a positive spin on it, Ash, yeah, I guess. Why not? Real-time battle damage. Why not? Yeah, so I hope you guys otherwise have been having a good week, you know. Hey, Ultra Marcus. They changed my hours at work. Hey, so it became difficult to attend your live stream. Happy to be here again. Hope you're going to be around Saturday. Hope you're going to be around, Marcus, on Saturday. Yeah, hope you're going to be around Saturday. We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. Let's kick off news, shall we, with rubber duckies. Kind of. So apparently there's a crossover with Tubbs and Transformers, and Tubbs make rubber duckies that are basically in cosplay. And there's a Megatron and there's an Optimus Prime. I'm not going to lie. I saw the Megatron one and I was like, that's kind of adorable. That's molded nicely and stuff. That's kind of cute. I gotta say, it's basically Megatron with a duck bill and like he's sort of in a general duck shape, right? I don't know if the Optimus works as well, but to be fair, it's real difficult to do a duck bill when you have a face mask, right? So like, I think the Optimus is fine. I think it's the best that they could do, but I think the Megatron is a little more charming. Now, that being said, I'm not really a collector of rubber duckies, but hey, maybe you are. And if you are, these look pretty cool. New Age showed their Golden Lagoon Jazz, who kind of has like white or maybe it's very light gray highlights. Like his stripes are like a light gray and the number 4 in his visor. And I'm kind of thinking, if he's Golden Lagoon, shouldn't he just all be gold? Just saying, isn't the whole dude gold then? New Age has been doing this with their molds and giving us like a Golden Lagoon line, so to speak. It looks like he looks stunning. He looks absolutely beautiful. Really, really, really stunning. I think that of all the Golden Lagoon versions that are being done, and there have been a lot, including from Hasbro, I think New Age is doing it best. Their gold looks like it doesn't look like a mix of like yellow plastic and some gold paint. It all looks very uniform. But I mean, do we expect anything less from New Age? I mean, New Age is a pretty stellar company. I wouldn't expect anything less from them. So I think that looks beautiful. They also showed off their Legends Grimlock, who I think looks like the most cartoon accurate, best, I'll say mainline Grimlock that possibly I've ever seen. He's really, really gorgeous. Very flat panels and flat lines. And I feel like in some of the pictures I saw, he had blue eyes. And I feel like in other ones he had red. I don't know if you can change them or if I'm mistaken. But if they do the rest of the Dinobots like their Grimlock, for Legends collectors, I think you might have your ideal Dinobots. They show Grimlock also next to the Optimus Prime, and he is bigger than the Optimus Prime, as he should be, really, right? Like, you know how big the Studio Series Grimlock is next to the Earthrise Optimus Prime? Like, that scale makes sense. You see that together and like, yeah, that seems about right. Well, so does this. Same sort of thing. I think New Age had done a beautiful job with the Golden Lagoon Jazz. I think that their Grimlock is probably the best Legends Grimlock I've ever seen. And that's saying something because I've given a lot of Grimlocks a lot of praise over the years. But this one really, really is stunning from every angle in robot mode and dino mode. And in dino mode, he seems chock block, full of articulation, even on his little dino arms. Like more articulation on his dino arms than the Studio Series one has. Like that's saying something, man. Really saying something. New Age doing something real special, and I, for one, really support it. I think it's a good move by them to put all of the love in there. What else do we have? Apparently, in the Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie, which I haven't seen yet, but I want to because I've heard nothing but good things, and that's wonderful. So many franchises have cameos in that. Evidently, we see the leg of Optimus Prime, and it sort of transforms into like a roller skate. But eagle-eyed fans have said, it is kind of like the leg of Optimus from the Bumblebee movie, but there are differences and changes. So they're surmising that this might be the leg of Optimus as he appears in Rise of the Beasts. I mean, possibly. It might not even be an Optimus leg. It might just be people have mistaken it. I don't know for sure. I saw it and I was like, I guess it could be an Optimus leg. The color's right, but I'm not sure if it's an Optimus leg. And unmistakably, I think it's a theater, you see G1 Blaster, right? In all of his cartoon glory, Blaster's there. I thought that was neat. It's a nice little nod. I'm not sure exactly why it's in there, but hey, why not? I do find it interesting, very interesting, that we saw Transformers cameos in, a Disney movie. I find that very, very interesting. So I don't know if it means anything or not, but I'm just saying, remember what happened with LucasArts and Star Wars? I'm just saying, remember Fox and I'm just saying now Deadpool is a Disney princess. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Food for thought. Not to put on the old conspiracy theory hat or anything like that, or conjecture hat, but you never know, right? You never know. What else do we have here? Takara showed off their monster treads, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. It's basically vehicle modes of Optimus Prime and Bumblebee with like huge monster truck tires that light up and stuff. I don't know. It's not for me, but it might be for you if you really like that. I don't know a whole lot about it because I don't care. That's the best I can tell you. I don't care. Speaking of which, TF Nation announced a couple of their guests this week. It will be a couple of comic book guys that I've never heard of. Maybe you have. I'm not into the comics, as we know. But, TF Nation trying to kind of stack the card for the summer with their guests. Of course, they had that TF UK event, I suppose, a couple of weeks ago. And I think Ben's Collectibles was there. I think Thu was there. And I think via like video conference or whatever, Bobby Skullface was there. So, that was great. Apparently, it was a small, intimate thing. I saw some pictures when it looked like it was a fun time. So hopefully TF Nation for the big event goes off without a hitch, fingers crossed. What else do we have here? We saw Legacy Scourge, which is, of course, is the RID Scourge. It is the reuse of the Laser Optimus Prime mold, which we all knew was coming. He is part of the Velocitron subline. It looks like that trailer. Bless you, Starscream White. Bless you again. You want to do the third one? She's not going to do the third one. Usually they come in threes. I don't think anybody expected anything less. I am happy to see that the trailer is not just gray. It looks silver. I don't know if it's chrome, but it's certainly silver. And then I saw the robot and I was like, interesting. I'm not sure why his chest has two pink windows. And there's a lot of black on the main body, and then on his shoulder pauldrons, there's a little bit of black. He looks good. You see it, and you're like, yeah, RID Scourge for sure. But when you kind of look at the nitty gritty, it's like, there's differences here from the animation. A lot of differences. Differences from the original that had more of a gray body, and certainly the windows on the chest were different. I feel like what they tried to do with this version of Scourge is give an amalgam of a version of a Nemesis Prime along with Scourge and try and kind of put those two motifs together, because I see nods here that are very Nemesis Prime-esque, and I see nods here to Scourge. And I get it. Why wouldn't you have it be Nemesis Prime-esque? Because in Japan and whatnot, I mean, the guy was Black Convoy or whatever, right? So there he is Nemesis Prime, basically, right? So I understand it. Looks glorious. I'm one of the people, I don't detest the Legacy mold. I love the original, and I love the size and the heft and the honk and chunk of it. But when I reviewed the Legacy one, I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it. I thought the transformation was kind of brilliant. The only real issue that I have with the Legacy one is the trailer feels... The trailer's fine as a base stuff, but it's definitely not as impressive as the original. And you're not going to get something that impressive now. Not without paying a mint for it. And outside of that, when you get to the main robot, the only thing that I wasn't sure I liked there was the shoulders being all, I guess one piece that don't move, with the arm kind of moving under it. That being said, I did see a couple of pictures of somebody working on a custom in progress, where somehow they've removed the shoulder and attached it to, or the shoulder pauldron and attached it to the shoulder. So now it moves with the shoulder. I don't know how it's being done. Not a clue. But wow, what an impressive feat of a custom. I don't know. I like the Scourge, but I feel like it's going to be very polarizing. I feel like people are either going to say this is a great update to Scourge, or they're going to say we've waited all this time for an update to Scourge, and this is what we get. Like, I think nobody's going to be in the middle. I like it, but I think people are going to actually criticize it. Go figure. I'm not going to be one of the ones to really criticize it. Yeah, the coloring is kind of off, but when I look at it, I do get those Scourge vibes. That being said, I'm also not super invested in RID Scourge. Not super invested in RID. I like it. I respect it. Had some great offerings, but is this the Scourge that update everyone's been waiting for? I don't know, but I definitely think it's the way to go, rather than going back and trying to find an original Scourge and probably pay a mint for it, right? To each their own. To each their own. I don't mind it, but I do find the coloration to be a little bit dicey. And I don't know why they would go with pink instead of red. I think I would have preferred the red, but I'm okay with the pink because, again, it's from that earlier time when you're ending G2 and you're kind of moving on through Beast Wars, and now you're starting to hit 2000. So the colors are still a little wild, but starting to tame down a little bit. So I'm okay with the pink. It's different. It's a bold choice. What else do we have? So I found this very interesting. Of course, I've been saying all along that I was not in for the Legacy Menasor because numerous people had speculated and said to me that the trailer was going to make him 18 inches tall to go in line with, say, Devastator. Well, that information was wrong. And I mentioned a while ago that the main source that gave me that information, I've since taken out of rotation as a source because obviously their information is unreliable. What we have since learned is that he's, this size. He's the size basically of Jetfire. He is about a commander size, right? Commander's about the size of a Combiner Wars combiner, right? So this new Menasor is actually in line with the other combiners. That does make him more appealing to someone like me. I wish that you could kind of get the torso bot of Motormaster and attach the pre-existing Combiner Wars legs of Breakdown and Wildrider, and you can attach them. However, there's a little lip that needs to come over the connection, and that's what locks it in place. Because of the size of the Combiner Wars pegs, that little lip doesn't seem to be able to come down over the actual combiner piece, which means while you can slide, for example, Wildrider into a leg port, he's not necessarily going to stay in that leg port, which that's a bit of a bummer. I got to say, that's a bit of a bummer. I didn't mind the Combiner Wars Menasor. I understand all of the gripes, man. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But I did a lot of fixes on mine. Is he perfect? No, but he is a combiner. What I don't like about this new one is that it's really more Motormaster wearing a suit of clothes. I wish he combined, but I do think that this does better match the animation, and it has potential to be more stable. Will it be? I guess we'll have to see, because the thighs seem kind of small on it. Now that the size is in line with the rest of my combiners, and I wouldn't need to replace the whole thing, I have a little more interest in the new Menasor. But now my question becomes this. Is the value there? Do I see what is essentially triple the value to complete this guy compared to the Combiner Wars? And I'm not sure I'd see that, because when I look at the two dead ends, not dead ends, drag strips, they're both just different. They're both fine, but they're different. I don't think one is better than the other. I don't think one is necessarily more impressive than the other. Like, I think that for accuracy, the Legacy one wins, no doubt about it. I think that the conversion of both is fairly clever with some interesting bits and pieces. The articulation is comparable on both, though admittedly the Legacy one does have an ankle tilt, which is nice. I like the arm mode of the Combiner Wars one better. I don't like that you got to kind of split the Legacy one in two. I mean, what happens if that waist piece breaks? Then you're not even going to be able to put them back together. So I don't know. I'm not, altogether gung-ho sold. And everybody was like, this structure was amazing. He's okay. My copy, when I shake him, like he's a little bit loosey goosey at the waist, blown away by it, like some people have been. But I do admit that if combiner in the Combiner Wars line that needs a replacement, the first victim, so to speak, of a replacement should be Menasor. A lot of the other ones are fine, but certainly I understand the argument with Menasor. That was a weak torso. Had that Combiner Wars Motor Master been a better torso, I don't think I would be entertaining this. It totally boils down to the torso because the Limbots were all fine. Even though I argued with someone earlier in the week who said the Limbots were no good. Yes, they were. They were fine. Especially for what you were paying for them. Like here at the time, they were like $15. Yeah, they were fine for $15. Let's see. What else do we have here? Greg Berger is going to be at TFCon Toronto, which is nice. And then we get to Iron Factory. And then I'm going to check in with you guys. Iron Factory is doing a Lio Kaiser. Let me tell you, when I saw it, I was like, woo, baby. Now, all we've seen are renders in vehicle mode and renders in robot mode, right? The renders look good. All of them. All 6 members look great. I call this ambitious because I'll be very interested to see how strong and stable he is once combined. What sort of joints they're going to use for that. I don't see any indication that they're going to have their breast partners or their breast masters, though I would like to see that. I think, though, that to tackle Lio Kaiser at the Legends scale is a bit brave, certainly a little bit outlandish because it's not a combiner done all the time. But I think it's a popular choice. I think it's a great choice. And I think a lot of Legends collectors might really, really benefit from the Iron Factory Lio Kaiser. I'm excited to see how this comes together. How does it tie into one of my own projects? Well, as you know, a couple of years ago, I myself did a custom Lio Kaiser from the Platinum Lio Kaiser set. And I got rid of that Deathsaurus main torso. And I used a Power of the Primes Darkwing or Blackwing as Leozak, and a Power of the Primes Inferno as my Jaguar. However, I did see, and that's a totally done version of him without adding anything. Like there's no third party, there's no add-on bits, nothing. It's just, it is what it is. It's the pieces that come with all the guys. I also did all the breast masters using some of the Siege cassette bots. But I always wanted the Leozak and the Jaguar to be more cohesive, more combined, more slender, more svelte than what they were. And I have since learned of a particular set of, I'll say, add-ons that were being developed, thanks to our buddy Triple R, actually. And they seem to be complete now. I do plan to get them and kind of alter my custom Lio Kaiser with those add-on pieces. My hope is right now we're at True Review 9, I think 77, 78, something like that. I think tomorrow's 979. My plan, my hope is to get this done somewhere before, hopefully, Review 1000. By the way, 1000, I already know what I'm going to do. It's going to be a bit different. It's not really a review. It's more a showcase. Friend of the channel, Cyril, who's allowed me to review a lot of stuff. It's going to be a tour of his Nerdvana. Wait till you see his collection. Wait till you see it. One of the most impressive feats I've ever seen of a collector. It'll be a fun one. But I'm hoping to do the update to my Lio Kaiser custom fairly soon. Like when I get the end of the school year here and all my actual work done, one of my priority things is going to be to coordinate with my buddy Justin from 3D Corner and to get this done. So up and coming. I don't know exactly how soon, but soonish. Like I'm looking in the next month, 5 weeks, something like that, hopefully. Fingers crossed that it works out that way. Maybe 6 weeks. But fingers crossed. I'm going to check in with you guys. I'm excited about the Lio Kaiser. Let's see what you guys have been saying since I checked last. And I knew I've been missing you guys talking, but that's okay. What are we going to do here? Let's see. They change hours of work. Yeah, I saw that. Got a thrilling 30 Sandstorm triple changer. You know what? Way back in the day, I was going to skip him, and Starscream wife said, "No, no, he looks cool. You got to get him." And it was the first Transformer that she told me I had to get. And I was like, "Okay, fine, I'll get him." I love the Springer, but I was like, I don't. And it was weird at the time. I was like, I don't even hardly remember Sandstorm. And I got him, and I took him, and I was like, this guy's excellent. He's fantastic. I love him. Congratulations. That's what I would say to you, Brian. He's tremendous. Saturday it is. I'm a little bit of a tease when it comes to that, but stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. GotBot isn't into rubber duckies because he takes showers. That's true. I don't like baths. I've never understood baths. I mean, you're sitting there in a couple of inches of water, mucking around your own dirt, looking at yourself in the faucet, thinking how stupid you look, just sitting there. I don't get baths. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I went a little bit early, Dragonfly. Yes, sir, I did. Go down here. Hey, Ultra Megatronus. A lot of guys saying hi there. I'm gonna try to skip some of that stuff. Will they make Elita-1 a Disney princess? You see where my head's going, right, Chauncey? You see where my head's going. By the way, though I'm going to be talking about some legacy stuff, I'm going to talk about the Elita-1 now. Okay, so I look at her, and from the neck down, I guess shoulder spires. I look at it and think Minerva, not Elita-1, Minerva. That's obviously Minerva's body. No doubt in my mind that that's what that is. It might need some reshelling, but the robot mode is absolutely Minerva. In terms of being an Elita-1, well, the lower legs shouldn't be all red. There's some stuff on the torso that's a little bit different that it shouldn't be. But I'll say this. I think the upcoming Elita-1 is the best Elita-1 we've gotten based on her look. I love my Power of the Primes one. I love Orthea. I did not like the Netflix one at all. I was not a fan. And then we get this one. And while I think the body is a little bit off, the colors are a little bit off, let me tell you what really blew me away. The absolute love that went into the face sculpt. Her head and the curve of her face, her facial features, the way her lips and eyes are done is perfect. I think this is the absolute bar none, hands down, best head sculpt I've ever seen of any Elita-1 ever. Official, third party, anything. I think this is the best Elita-1, not only head sculpt, but best face I've ever seen for her. I saw a picture up close of that and I was blown away. Really, really something special with the sculpting that went into her face. And you could see the cartoon, and there were I guess we'll call it like a design image of her face. And you could see the detail that was going into that. I do respect that. I'll give credit where credit is due. Klinger from MASH is an official Disney princess. That's true, too. That's funny. Let's see. Got me a Legacy Blitzwing from Walmart yesterday, and in my opinion, he is a far cry better bot than the Titans Return one. I just feel the red hands missile pods things are unneeded junk. Well, they are, but and he should be a better bot. He's twice the Harry would be twice the price. Like, you have to be better. The plane mode is garbage. I'm sorry, Dragonfly, but that plane mode with all of that junk underneath is utter garbage. It looks good from the top down, but that's the only way the plane looks good. Tank looks fine. Robot looks fine. I don't see double the value. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. And maybe all of that mass is jam-packed in the body. I don't know. But when I look at it, I'm like, I'm not seeing. And I think I'm a bit burned to the idea of Blitzwing because I did not like and was nowhere close to impressed with the Astro Train. I don't think the Siege Astro Train's good. I really don't. Not compared to the Titans Return. I wasn't impressed with that thing at all. And I got that on sale. And I got it, and I never liked it. I know a lot of people did, and I gave it away. It was part of the 5K giveaway because I didn't like it and I didn't want it, and I knew it was popular and I knew people loved it. I've never understood the appeal. I'm gun shy with the Blitzwing because of how much I didn't like the Astro Train and thought it wasn't well done. I gotta be honest. So I'm gun shy with Blitzwing because of a previous release that I didn't like, if that makes sense. A few people saying bless you, Starscream wife. Nemesis Prime Deco on Scourge Black Convoy, thumbs down. I could see that, T and Toys. I could see how people aren't going to like that. Legacy Scourge is a letdown. Too much pink, not enough chrome. Yeah, I could see people are already now saying that, there's things with it. It doesn't bother me, but I understand where you're coming from with it. Here they are, think they what? Here they are, think they broke street data on him, probably. They did that with Bulkhead. I have RID Scourge. I love it. The original RID Scourge is amazing. I added an upgrade to my Menasor, new head, chest, stiffener, and what? Sword extent. Really? Maximal 10? You added an upgrade to your Menasor. Is that your Combiner Wars Menasor? Or is that your... I don't know what that is. What Menasor is that you upgraded? And was that the Perfect Effect upgrade? Is that what you're talking about? Any cons and hula skirts lately? No. I can't say as I have. You go down here. A lot of highs again. Hey, Ken. Hey, Blue Raccoon, in case I didn't say it, by the way. Hey, Waspinator. So basically, this is a Legacy Bulkhead, but yeah, I think that the Elita-1 is another case of Legacy Bulkhead. It's obviously meant for somebody else, but in this case, I think the head is so good, and I think the alt mode is so good. Using this for Minerva, I don't think that they should leave the same alt mode. It should be parts reshelled, but yeah, I think it's gonna be good in both cases. Red Finger thing's pointless. Hopefully you'll like the animated Blitzwing. Hopefully. It feels good. I could probably get another Elita and Earthrise Netflix Optimus for wedding, I guess. I wish I won Siege Astro Train in the giveaway. Listen, man, I mean, that one went to Average Cassette Player, who's here sometimes. Not here tonight. I only have the SW Menasor and the parts that look like the what's SW? What's SW maximum? I don't even know what SW is. Hey Lance, picked up Legacy Kickback, but disappointed. Oh, he has a loose head and leg and robot. That's tough. That's too bad. Mine is perfectly tolerant. That's why I love him, but that's a bummer, man. Oh, the CW. And are the upgrade parts look like... Oh, yeah. Well, it probably is one of the PE kits. The only thing with the PE kit was, while it stabilized his body, it really hindered his articulation. And that was a killer for me, right? Looking for the Thrilling 30s Bumblebee. Good luck. I remember it back in the day. I never got it, but I do remember it back in the day. All right, let's go on with the news here a little bit more. The Jada converting Optimus Prime is out at U.S. retail. So is Junk Heap out at U.S. retail, apparently. I don't know if he's supposed to be out yet. I certainly haven't gotten any call about my Junk Heap. I don't expect him soon, but I love the Studio Series 86 Wreck Car. Why would I not get Junk Heap? I love the Wreck Car. I expect the Junk Heap to be good as well. Yours has a dodgy leg as well. That's too bad. Mine, I guess I lucked out because mine is... Everything on my kickback is... I gotta check now, but I'm pretty sure everything on my kickback is like super tight. The head's not loose on mine at all. The leg, I mean, back to the side. And if it's the other leg, I mean, ever so slightly falling down, but like it's not loose. That's too bad. Kickback's so good that you having A QC issue like that is a real darn shame. Straight at the box. Yeah, that's a shame. Jaded Prime is ugly. I agree. Kickback is great. Yeah. Okay, I know this sounds like BS, but I swear it isn't. Just now, during this, I got confirmation that I found my what? Birth mother, and her name is Alita. Not Elita-1, but pretty good. What? What? Are you finding this out right now, like live? Shanti, are you finding this out right now live? That's wild. That's wild. I mean, congratulations, but that's wild. Wow. Really cool. Really, really cool. Man, you never know. Swear to God, just got an email. So for anybody who's just joining us, Shansi just found out, like breaking news live here, just found out, got confirmation that he found his birth mother and that her name is Alita, A-L, not E-L, Alita. But man, that is pretty close to Alita. Wow. Wow. I'm pretty flabbergasted. I'm so happy for you, man. My favorite legacy so far? Skids or Kickback, one of the two, but Skids, I'm thinking. That's wild. It's going to take me a little while to get over that. That's wild. Waiting on Transformers Jada Optimus. What? Wait, a Transforming Jada Optimus. I just got the diecast. Yeah. Don't get excited. Don't get excited. When you find it, I don't think you're going to be that blown away. I have GameStop. Yeah. That is Destiny. That's wild. Hey, Jay. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really cool. I'm glad it was broken here. I'm glad that we were able to break some good news. That's really good. That's really good. Let's keep going here. So, Rise of the Beast, Power Combiners, and Power Alliance arrived at Hasbro warehouses. Does anybody care about this gimmicky stuff? If you do, be happy. I literally could not care less. There's not one thing for Rise of the Beast that I have at this point 1 ounce of interest in. I just look at it and say, wow, what a waste of plastic and money and resources that could have been used for lower prices. That's sorry. If you're into the gimmicky stuff, I apologize, but that's how I feel. And I think you guys by now know that, like, you come here for the honesty, you know? It's not always pleasant, but you definitely come in for the honesty. I am not a yes man reviewer, and I'm not a commercial. I tell you what I think, and I tell you the good, bad, and ugly, right? Dr. Wu and Mechanic Toys showed their RC, and really, they kind of showed their Nightbird because they showed the car in the Nightbird colors. Interesting backpack. It looks like it condenses more than some of the backpacks we've seen, and rather than folding the rear of the car in under, it looks like either the front tires or the rear of the car sort of folds on the sides of the backpack. It's still a fairly big backpack, but I mean, Dr. Wu's stuff is, I mean, tiny. It's tiny. And to be able to pull off RC at that very diminutive scale with the articulation that she seems to have looks real special. And when I say tiny, I mean, these are well done, really kind of very highly articulated, and about the size of a Micromaster, roughly. They're very tiny. Like, they're not Legends. They're smaller than Legends. They're about the size, roughly, of a Micromaster. So, to do RC and I think have interesting engineering to it, I'm impressed. You'll notice that I've been impressed by the third-party stuff. You know, I've been really impressed with third-party stuff tonight. The Lyle Kaiser from Iron Factory, and now the I'll spit this out in a second. The Dr. Wu RC, right? Also blowing me away. Speaking of third party and blowing me away, man, Fans Hobby showed off the color version, for more or less anyway, of their Energon Optimus Prime. Now, there's still a lot of details missing off it that need to go on it, but man, his articulation is stupendous. It looks like rubber tires, and if it's not rubber tires, it sure looks like rubber tires. The configurations that the trailer can do, the mode where he combines with all of his little drones, and then all the articulation with that. Like, I've said it before. I said it about their Armada Optimus Prime. I said it about their Armada Megatron. I think I might have said it about their RID Scourge. Like, don't get me wrong. I know that the the company's had a few criticisms, but I think if you're a Unicron trilogy fan, man, you owe it to yourself to get this Energon Optimus because he's so good. There's so much versatility. All 4 drones can become arms. All 4 drones can become legs. The trailer can be put in ever so many different like base-like configurations, and even the whole Fatimus Prime aspect is pretty darn well articulated. Like I'm impressed. Third party, man, blowing the doors off of it, right? Blowing the doors off of it, baby. We also saw, now this third party is fine. It's definitely not for me. It is the Kotobukiya. Kotobukiya. It's the anime girl Megatron statue where she's holding her fusion cannon over the, I think, right shoulder. And I don't really like that. I'm not a fan of that. I don't. Why do you have to take it and turn everything into an anime girl? It's not for me. Something about it that feels dirty to me, I guess. But I'll give credit where credit is due for one thing: the attention to detail. The head, for example, is at an angle where obviously the chin is up a little bit and the eyes are looking down. It was a very small detail, but it really is one that seems very Megatron-ish. These statues, and they are statues, they're not for me in any way, shape, or form. Not even slightly, not a little bit. But I respect the attention to detail. And if they are for you, then, I would think that they're for you because you're more of an art collector or an anime girl collector than you are anything else. It's definitely an interesting take. It's just, I don't like when they do that stuff with our franchises. Like, I don't know what the motivation is behind it. That's all. We have some news from Casio. Watches, man. Watches. Casio back to the 80s watches, and we're getting some Transformers watches. If I said watches enough, if you want an 80s watch, that's Transformers, nostalgia feels. There you go. Get a Casio, I guess. I don't know what else to say about that piece of news, honestly. I thought this was very, very interesting. We saw some unreleased artwork from the Titanium line. And there was an unreleased Shockwave who looked cool. He looked neat. He definitely had some bits and pieces to him that seemed very Action Master-ish. Like a lot of bits and pieces on him had like orange highlights, or what looked like they were probably going to be orange highlights. We also saw in that same kind of lot of images a Bumblebee that would have been Cybertronian with his alt mode. There's certain design elements and aspects that I see there that I now see in the the Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Origins Bumblebee, as well as the Moss Toys Bumblebee that was done. I look back at the Titanium one and say, you know what? I feel like both of the versions of Bumblebee with his Cybertronian mode that we have today were inspired by that. And then the most interesting was an RC. And I think it's one of the best RCs that I've ever seen. It's too bad she wasn't produced. Now, that being said, with Titanium, I mean, God knows what the quality would have been like. But the design was really kind of beautiful. A little bit slightly stylized, but the black backpack was quite slender. You looked at it, you certainly knew it was RC. Maybe some extra pink highlights where she didn't really need to have pink highlights. And again, I look at this and I see things involved with it that we saw later. For example, her legs really become kind of the sides of the car. We saw that with the Thrilling 30s. Her arms folded up underneath, a la what I think was done sort of with MMC, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was Delicate Warrior, kind of put the arms underneath. Maybe it was Delicate Warrior. But even having the arms underneath and down the body of the car was something done Thrilling 30. So I feel like Thrilling 30, and probably now by extension, at least part of the upcoming Studio Series 86 RC, were inspired by this kind of abandoned design from the Titanium line. I think I would have liked that RC. I think I would have liked that scene. I think she would have sold well, even with likely imperfections, right? I'm just saying, Rodimus Prime, I remember you. Just throwing that out there. What else do we have here? Legacy Wildrider, we saw images of. Somebody asked me last week if I was in for the Wildrider. I guess I'll have a look at it. I think the car looks stupendous. I think the robot looks fine, okay. I think there's a lot of moving parts with that transformation. And again, much like I feel like the robot will be fine, the car will be fine, the backpack will be a little bit egregious, and the leg mode isn't the leg mode. It's just taking the car and folding up the hood, and then you're gonna put it on. It's not a leg though, right? It's a calf, right? It's a calf, I guess. I don't know. I don't know about the leg mode, but I think the look of it looks fine. Is it better than the Combiner Wars? I mean, maybe. I presume it has ankle tilt and stuff. Is it going to be more solid? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So the drag strip, or not the drag strip, the Wildrider, yeah, I think he looks nice. But I'll also say this. I think that a lot of people will be drawn to this one more because I know so many people missed out on Breakneck, Wildrider, but Breakneck, when he wasn't exclusive. And if you have a Menasor that has off-road, well, off-road is great. I love off-road. I could understand that some people will say, I want a true blue Menasor. I want one with Wildrider. And they're going to want Wildrider. So I think he's going to be, again, fairly popular, if for nothing else, because people want Wildrider. What else do we have here? We already talked about Elita-1. Then we get to Knockout, and I said, man, when he was first announced and we saw the render stuff, I was like, oh, man, they're just taking the Jazz and they're putting this head on it. Yeah, he has a nose. Okay, I can get past that. But, like, it's obviously Jazz's body. I don't know about this as Knockout, man. I don't think I'm in for it. I think I'm going to keep my Beast Hunters. Then I saw some, like, in-hand images, and the car mode is definitely very Knockout-esque. I like the reshell that they did to make it's not perfect Knockout, but it's real Knockout-esque. And I look at it with the yellow rims and I look at the sheen. Now, I don't know if it's the plastic or if the whole thing is painted, but knowing how vain Knockout is about his paint job, I see this, I'm like, that's a paint job worth being vain about. That is a deep red, beautiful cherry paint job. And then I saw the robot mode, and again, that beautiful sheen comes through. I don't know if it's the plastic. I don't know if it was just good lighting in the pictures or if it's all paint. But baby, I think I might have to go with Knockout. I think that even though it's a reuse and I wasn't blown away with it, I think the paint job, if it's a paint job, if it looks as good in person, in hand, I think it might be an acceptable version of Knockout. I wish the chest came down lower. I don't know for sure yet. I can't say I'm totally sold, but if that sheen is there, like I think it could be, man, I might be. I got to give credit where credit is due. 3-0 showed off there. M Deluxe Optimus Prime. This is an Optimus Prime that stands about 7 inches. It is, I mean, they have their like premium, which is about 15 inches and quite big. Then they have their deluxe, which I think is about 9 or 10. And now they have this M Deluxe, which is an affordable premium offering, is what it's kind of touted as. It's 7 inches, so it's about Voyager size, roughly. 48 points of articulation. Looks really great. Unfortunately, I hate the head sculpt. I look at it, I'm like, this is Optimus Prime as a little kid. The head sculpt ain't doing it for me. I look at it as I'm like, this is way too young. This is like, he might still be a little bit of Ryan Pax to me. I love 3-0, and don't get me wrong, the detailing is there. Like it's hyper detailed. Like the quality and the love and the detailing and the parts count and everything is there for this. But I don't like the head sculpt at all. That's a personal thing, only a personal thing, but it's not for me. And I think that's it for the news right there. Oh, Slipstream G1 Slipstream is joining Forge to Fight. Just so you know. A little bit of news left, not much. We're almost done there. Let me just see. We talked about the fans hobby thing. We talked about Elita-1 being beautiful and the work on her face. Studio series, done a couple more of those screen to studio series. They've done one for the Dark of the Moon Bumblebee. Again, more yellow, richer on this one. Some parts, like the very upper thigh plates on the toy, are a little bit different shaped than they are on the CG model. CG model has a lot more like silver and gunmetal gray, and of course molded in detail. It's okay. I don't really see this and think to myself, yeah, that looks like the movie. Eh. And then we also saw Sideways. And again, I feel like that there's quite a departure here. The, I guess, door pieces behind Sideways in toy are fairly simplistic. They're there. They remind me of what he was when he originally released way back in the day, right? What, 10, 12 years ago, whatever it was. But then I saw the CG model that they compared it to, and I'm like, the junk behind his head, the door sticking out, just looks more visually interesting on the CG model. I get it. I mean, you're not going to really be able to translate that to studio series, but it's definitely a far more simplified version of Sideways. That's what I'm going to say. Is it bad? No. But I saw these two, and whereas I've had times I've been really impressed and just said, hey, the studio series has a deeper color, I feel like that there's some design and molding departures this time around with both of these guys. And while they're definitely good looking, I don't know if they necessarily hit the mark as perfect as some of the ones we've seen in the past. But again, I think that's open to interpretation, right? You might see it and be like, no, man, it's pretty much perfect. And I'm not really invested enough in Sideways, definitely not invested enough in Bumblebee to care that much. What else do we have here? Those artists going and that. I think we only have one thing left. Yeah, we do. And the very last thing is something that I broke news on, I don't know, a year ago, I think. Clampdown, Velocitron. So that would mean that he's likely to be a Walmart exclusive. He is using the Earthrise Sideswipe Red Alert mold. It's rumored, but I think the rumor is a pretty safe bet that we're getting a Clampdown. I really think it's a pretty safe bet. Not officially announced yet, but I see it impending. It's been heavily rumored for a long time. We've seen some pictures now. I don't think it's a custom. I think it's the dude. I do. I mean, I'm not that invested in Clampdown. I don't really know the character, but I love that mold. I like it better than the Siege one. I prefer the Earthrise one. So I'm probably in for Clampdown. I got to be honest. I'm going to give you guys trivia. We're going to go back and check here, and then we're going to do the unboxing and get out of here. The trivia. In the Transformers Prime episode, TMI, Bulkhead name drops a G1 character when he's doing Cybertronian math. So in the episode TMI, Bulkhead is doing Cybertronian math. He name drops a G1 character that does not appear in the Transformers Prime show. But obviously, this character exists in that universe as well. Who is it that he name drops while he's doing Cybertronian math? Is it A, Hoist? Is it B, Perceptor? Is it C, Grapple? Or is it D, Skylinks? So is it A, Hoist? Perceptor is B. Grapple is C, or is it Skylinks? That would be D. I'm going to see what you guys say. I'm going to go up and check, but you guys put your answers in there. Let's go up here. Hey, Anthony. No, Saturday Night got mentioned. I haven't talked about it yet. I'm going to talk about that next before we do the unboxing. Shansi, I picked them up too. Yeah, I don't expect, I wouldn't be shocked if that Blitzwing, for example, didn't come here till August, September. I kind of feel like he'll be around then. Hope the Dr. Wu RC works out and is a good price. I agree. I bought them with dreams of using them as some sort of board game pieces. Oh yeah, the little guys for the board game pieces. I miss third party chug. Me too, Marcus. Let's see. Looks like Power Rangers. Imagine chug scale rescue bots. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'd be all right with that. I like rescue bots. Go down here. Let's see. Casio still exists? Apparently. I was as shocked as you are. They scale with the game. I'm going down here. You guys are having a little bit of a chit chat. I've never gone to Hawaii, but then if you and Starscream wife go to Hawaii, make sure the flower's on the left. Okay, if you say so. I don't ever plan to go to Hawaii. It's far away. It's a long plane ride, and I don't like the heat. So, but she wants to go. Okay, well, wear your flower on the left. Apparently, I don't know. Sock mode for Wildrider. Yeah, there you go. He's a sock. Hey, Caleb. Hey, Hollywood. What do you think about the Legacy Nemesis? Well, I talked about that earlier. The Scourge, I assume you mean. I see hints of Scourge. I see hints of Nemesis Prime. I think it's fine, but for somebody wanting a true Scourge update, there's things there that could have been done better. I'm okay with it. I think it's fine, but I understand the criticisms. I was talking about, hey, Razor Bear, I was talking about the Legacy Knockout. That sheen, that cherry sheen, I gotta believe it's paint. It doesn't just look like plastic. It looks like it's all painted. I don't know if it is, but there's something about it, man. I mean, and it should be painted. We all know how vain Knockout is. It should be painted. Do you like the new Legacy Nemesis Prime Reap? Well, yeah, I think it's fine. I'm in for Clampdown. Hey, Timmy. You got married in Hawaii. There you go. Can of worms on for. I don't know why everybody's talking about Hawaii, but whatever. You guys enjoy it. When you're doing the unboxing, that's always the last thing that takes us to the show. So that's going to be coming up in a moment when I get caught up here with the comments. Too much sand. Now you're on the line for a Hawaii vacation. Yeah, no thanks. I've seen the answers here. B Perceptor. Yeah, it was Perceptor. You guys are so smart. Okay. Saturday coming. Yours truly is going to be live once again, but not here. Not here. Going to be with Anthony. Going to be with Input. Going to be, I think, with Input. Going to be with Danny. I'm not even sure who else is there. Transformers Addict, TFA. I think he's going to be there. I'm not sure. Anthony, if you're still here, who's going to be with us? We are going to be ranking the Kingdom line. Now, a couple of weeks ago, they did the Siege line. And Input made a bunch of bad calls, right? A whole bunch of bad calls. And people had to use their, everybody gets like 3 objections. And like Input was putting RC up in the A slot. Like, yeah, come on, get out of here. So I wasn't able to be a part of that one, though I really wanted to. I didn't have the time. And then last week, they did Earthrise, and Input once again made some bad calls. That had to go changed, right? So I'll be interested to see what terrible calls Input makes this time. That I'll have to change. But it was fun. There was a lot to do in that Earthrise, man. Ooh, buddy. So we're going to be doing Kingdom, and I'm on the hook for Kingdom. But I didn't get all of Kingdom, and I certainly think it was vastly the weakest of the trilogy. It'll be very interesting to see where people rank stuff and then where I need to change it with some objections, right? We'll see where it goes. So that is scheduled for 7 Eastern. No, that's wrong. I apologize. That is scheduled for 5:30 Eastern on Saturday, 7 my time. 5:30 Eastern on Saturday. Let's see. It is bad calls. Oh, Anthony, you know he made some bad calls. You know that Input made some bad calls. You, me, Danny, Input, Raziel, and TFA. There you go. There you go. It's all a strategy with those ranking slots. You're absolutely right, Timmy. You're absolutely right. I gotta see that. I think it's gonna be an interesting one. I do, because I already know some I would put higher that people would put as a fail, and I know some that people are gonna put higher that I would put as an absolute fail. I don't know if I got anything that would be truly an S. Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, 5:30 Eastern, 7 p.m. My time, Newfoundland Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. So there you go. Input. I left as soon as RC was put in A because that's a bullcrap. RC should. I don't think she's a fail because she functions the way she's designed. She's definitely a D. Come on, she's definitely a D. Rank RCS ranking for trolling. GMT. Yeah, what's Mountain Time? I think Mountain Time is an hour later than Pacific. I think. Is Mountain Time going to be 3:30? I think Mountain Time might be 3:30. Brian, don't quote me on that, but it might be 3:30. Okay, let's get to the unboxing. I can't wait for Saturday. It's going to be a fun time. So with the unboxing, new, old. Okay, very first thing I got is part of a Transformers display board for Studio Series with Optimus on it. Okay, I mean, I could frame it, and you could. It's actually nice art of Optimus. It's nice artwork, but it was part of a display at Toys R Us, actually. So I got that. I got that. 5. Okay, 5. Apparently 5. The answer is Perceptor. Yeah, it was Perceptor. I said that. 3:30 Mountain Time. There you go. I also see Prime things from what? Power of the Primes. Probably. Yeah, probably. Anthony's putting it all up there, guys. If you're wondering about the different time zones, Anthony's putting it all up there. Okay, what else do we have here? We're going to take a look at a masterpiece with... Is this actually a masterpiece or is this a KO? No, it looks like a masterpiece. Masterpiece of Road Rage. I have the Kingdom one. Little loosey-goosey, but not as bad as what a lot of people said. We'll see what the masterpiece is like. I've heard rough things about this masterpiece and tracks. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think the tracks was that bad, to be honest with you. So we'll see. See about this. Then in here, we also have, and I've actually never looked at this. I can't believe I've never looked at this. The plastic feels weird on it, but I'm shocked I've never looked at this and never held it in hand. And it is the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Optimus Prime. I've never reviewed this. I've never looked at it. The plastic feels completely different from like any Transformer in that line to me. Really weird. This is going to be interesting because I don't know what to make of this. I really don't know what to make of it, but it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. What about the Hawaii time zone? Yes, there is Mountain. Yes. I like Road Rage. She's on top of my list of favorite Autobot Fembots. It is a big boy. He's a big chunk. I don't know if he was leader class, maybe. Then we have, I want to say from the movies? Maybe? It's definitely a smoke screen. He's in a bag. Can I open this? I'm going to open this. Let's open this. Smoke screen? No, this is Unicron trilogy because it got a Cyber Planet key. I know that much. So it's definitely Cybertron. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's a Cybertron smoke screen. There you go. Maximal 10 said it's Cybertron smoke screen. Because he looked too smoke screen to not be smoke screen, right? Greenwich Mean Time. I don't know what it would be in Greenwich Mean Time. I have that guy too and didn't know what it was. There you go. What? My friend was going to get me Megatron for Beast Hunters, but my family was not a fan at all. No Transformers fan. Okay, that's too bad. I don't know what your family has to do with you getting a Transformer. But okay. Also, in here now, these got to be power core combiners, I think. This lad is a power core combiner, right? Somebody tell me. I don't know what he is or what his name is, but like this is definitely a power core combiner, as is this, right? Somebody tell me, who are these two lads? Cybertron toys are always a cool collector's. If you say so. I'm not a fan of anything from Unicron Trilogy, but okay. Repaint of Cross. I don't know what Crosswise is. Like, if all this is Unicron Trilogy stuff, like, I'm not going to lie. I don't know anything about it. I own it. I've watched it. None of it stays with me. I don't know. Who's Crosswise? I don't know. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't stick to me. None of it has. I've tried. Repaint of Cybertron Crosswise. Okay. All right. Oh, the smoke screen, you mean? I guess I don't know. I don't know. I take that back. Energon is way cooler. If you say so. No, that's Energon, Bone Crusher, and Skipjack. Okay, thanks. I appreciate it. Again, if it's Unicron Trilogy, I'm not gonna know it. I can guarantee you I will not know it. But not without having to research it. I'm one of the few or only Transformers fan in the family. Me too. But what does that have to do with anything? You like what you like. Your family doesn't dictate who you are. You're your own person. Be your own person. Energon combiner limbs. Okay, so I guess it came from Energon. I don't know those guys. No, me either, man. Energon combiner limbs. Thank you, everybody. I knew you guys would know. I do know these guys. This terrible Cyberverse Megatron with his ball hand. This got to be Warrior. And it's terrible. I already know that. I haven't even reviewed this. I already know this is going to be terrible. And it's that Warrior or whatever it is, Optimus. They're awful. They're awful. And then something unexpected. In essence, this is birthday gift from Starscream wife. And I got this because she said, and I quote, "This one's cooler." And listen, I learned way back with my Sandstorm to listen to my wife. I learned way back when I wasn't going to get Black Shadow, the Titans Return Black Shadow, to listen to my wife. And lo and behold, Buzzworthy Bumblebee Cup. Wasn't going to get it. Was not planning to get it because I was cool, happy with the Studio Series 1. And now I got this one. Neither is bad. They're definitely different. Starscream wife prefers this one. She finds the chest of this guy too busy. I feel like this guy's green and this guy's more blue. I don't know why he'd be blue. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when we do the review. The review for this won't be tomorrow. It'll be next Tuesday. Tomorrow is going to be, what's tomorrow going to be? I don't know. I got something done for tomorrow. I don't remember what did I review for tomorrow that I've already got done. Drawn a blank. I can't believe that I can't remember what it was that I got planned for tomorrow. I'll remember that. I'll remember that Saturday. That's what'll happen. So yeah, so there you go. These two. I don't know, man. I don't know. So we had some Unicron Trilogy stuff, some Transformers Prime stuff, some Masterpiece stuff, some Buzzworthy Bumblebee stuff, and even a piece of cardboard. Go figure. You never know what you're going to see on the live show. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my birthday was last week, so it's a little bit belated, but thank you very much, Blue. I appreciate it, buddy. My birthday was the 15th. 15th. See, went by and you guys didn't even know. Few of you knew. Is also in the box. What? Hope a Legacy Bulkhead is also in the box. No, I already got 2 of that guy. I don't need any more. What? Megatron Herald is lame. It's kind of, adult looking. Yeah, I agree. Super Robot Ed is in here as well. Thank you, ladies. Oh, look at that. FOC Records Ruination for under $100. Nice. All right, ladies, gentlemen, I'm going to get out of here. My wife has been very patient. We guys still got to get some food. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time, man. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube, baby, at any time. we had a discussion about the yellowing problem not that long ago, and I got a couple of other things up and coming, not the least of which is my Victory Vlog 5, my kind of more in-depth thoughts about HasLab Victory Saber with the latest update. Hit the subscribe button, stick around, have some fun with us. Don't forget, man, that somehow, some way, each and every single day, all of you that have been in here tonight, you do make a difference. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights, at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, inside the videos.